Happy Sabbath. I have to say, I appreciate the song service, and I appreciate the selection of the music. That's exceptional. Every week it seems like it is. And sometimes I sit over there and tears run down my cheeks and I sniffle, and then I have to get up here and talk. But that's all right. That's all right. Happy Sabbath to each one of you. It's really good to see you. I was thinking today, it seems like it's months since I've been here, but 2 weeks ago we were in the Wallapies, and last week I was in Bullhead, so it's just been 2 weeks. But some of you have grown grayer and heavier, I think. But anyway, there's a couple of things in the bulletin that I need to emphasize, and a couple I need to tell you about. First of all, how many of you have been watching the news and saw what happened to the Bahamas? Category 5 hurricane, 40 hours it settled with those islands. And yet it leveled. And if you've seen pictures, it's just absolutely incredible how bad it is. I mean, there's in the few pictures I did see, there's not a building standing. There's nothing. I mean, they have a big, wide open area, and there's nothing except pieces of houses. Amazing. There's only 23 people. Well, that was what I heard, I think, Thursday. 23 people that had lost their lives. But, you know, Gene Disney was watching that, and he felt that we need to do what we can for the Bahamas. It's not in the regular offering, and it's certainly, as always, is free will. But if you have something that you would like to donate for the Bahamas, if you'll either put a check would be ideal, and just write on there Bahamas across the bottom, and then when we get that in the offering, we can separate it, because it won't go through. We'll go directly to the Bahamas, so they get the money as quickly as they can. ADRA, yes, I'm sorry, Gene, thank you. ADRA, make it out to ADRA, and then down at the bottom, Bahamas, and that way it'll be identifiable, and we can get that money to them sooner rather than later. You know, there's a lot of places you can call on TV and make the donation. And sometimes you just, you know, as Gene said, you just don't feel comfortable doing that, because you hear all the stories and all the things about what sometimes where that money goes. If we get it there through ADRA, we know that it'll be used as we intend for it to be used. So again, that's the offering. Again, is not specifically for ADRA today, but when they do take up the offering, if you will take that opportunity to, you can mark it on the tithe envelope, Bahamas. That'll work. Okay? All right? Brad is all cranked up, and I thought, boy, if I turn him loose up there, he'll be here all day. But no, he came and asked me if I would announce about the men's retreat. How many of the men here intend on going to the retreat? Because I see your hand. Keep them up for a minute so I can count. No, we don't have to keep them up long. There's 3, 4. Looks like about 4, Brad, including you. Yeah. 4 or 5. So, those of you who are going, it looks like just from the faces I see, you probably already know this, but contact Brad or Les and let them know, and you can get a ride with them, or if there's more people that can get in one vehicle with all their stuff, then they'll carpool up. And that they leave on Friday, next Friday, this coming Friday actually, and so. If you have the chance, men, if you have the opportunity and you haven't decided yet and you're still kind of going, it's worth the time. It's worth the time and the effort to get there. So, okay, Brad, there you go. The other thing is, I need to talk about funds again. You know, Jerry's not here. I would have him talk about this, but I'm just going to make it brief. You know, we've done a lot of improvements on our church in this summer. And one of the things that comes with more cooling, more more modifications, always comes at a cost. Our operating budget is going to go up. And you know what that means. That means that all of us have to chip in a little bit more. So please keep that in mind, because our electric bill, we've had a hot summer. And when you come to church, in this church, and expect to be comfortable, that has to be paid for. So please remember that. And last but certainly not least, there is a sign-up sheet out in the foyer. And the fair, the county fair. And does it start? It starts in the afternoon on Thursday? Yeah, the first is the afternoon. 10 o'clock Thursday morning. Starting 10 o'clock Thursday morning, and it runs through Sunday. So that's basically 4 days, 3 nights and 4 days that we have to cover our booth at the fair. So please sign up out there. Martha and Stephen have kind of fronted this, but they can't cover everything. They can't cover all those hours by themselves. So please sign up. If you have any questions about where the most need is, talk to Martha and or Stephen, and they'll give you some direction. But please, let's support this. We've kind of cut back this year. The last few years we've had a double booth, which is like what, a half acre, and now we've cut it. No, it's two spaces in the fair, and we've cut that down to one because we have enough stuff. We can do one. We can do one. We get all of our stuff in one booth. We don't need two. So we're trying to economize there. But we don't want to economize on the amount of literature that we get out, on the amount of support that the church is involved there. So please get a hold of them and spend a couple of hours. All you have to do basically is be there and greet the people, pass out some literature, baptize somebody if you decide to, whatever. So that's good. And as I look down here this morning, I have to say something about this. I had, in weeks past, I've often talked about the folks that come up and speak and how they just come forward, almost everybody. After you come forward once, though, then they get your name, and then you're done. But months ago, when David came to our church, he said, in his very quiet way, if you ever need someone to speak, let me know. And I said, oh, you're a speaker? He goes, I'm a retired pastor, if I recall that correctly. And he's been among us. He's a quiet, soft-spoken man, but he is here today, and I hope he gives us some of his background and some information like that, because he is our speaker. And I like to make him feel like he's our guest speaker today because it's his first time. So I think we're in for a treat. And we ask that, or we remind each one of you, especially our visitors, that we do have potluck immediately after the service. So if you want to stay by, it would be great if we have what are we having? We're having a luncheon, right? We're not having a potluck. I never get that right, Brad. Fellowship luncheon, that's it. Somebody's going to have to write this out for me. You get old, you only know the things you know, and there's nothing new, Gail. It's all mixed up in there, and it just comes out once in a while. But anyway, welcome to each one of you. We're really happy to have you here. Enjoy the day. Happy Sabbath.